Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the July 1st, 2026 meeting of the Conservation Commission. July already, okay. The Wareham Conservation Commission will hold a meeting under Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Town of Wareham Wetland Protection Bylaw, Division 6, and any other applicable laws. All hearings of the Wareham Conservation Commission are held simultaneously under the authorities of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act and the Town of Wareham Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Division 6. Although a single decision of the Commission is issued, it represents a separate decision under each authority. All matters listed may involve a decision and possible vote. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Kwame.
Kwame Bowdy.
Michael Mercier.
Sandy Slavin.
Paula Jean O'Neill.
Scott Sobey.
Jessica Parr.
Scott Parr.
And we are going to welcome Scott Parr, our new associate members. Thank you very much for joining us. And yes, they do have the same last name. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to say it Scott P. and Scott, I don't know, S.
Well, I just say it's a good thing that since I'm on the sewer commission that I'm not known as Scott P.
That commissioner wants to know if he wants to be known as Peter PP. Yeah. Never mind. So, Scott, thank you very much for stepping up and joining us. All right, I declare we have a quorum, and we're opening the meeting. Please, Michael.
All right. Pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, Division 6, a public hearing will be held in Room 520, Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass., on Wednesday, July 1st, 2026, at 6 p.m. All right. We all set for the first one?
Yes, please.
Okay. The request for determination of applicability for Gino, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Vasconcelos up by, okay, I deeply apologize for that. Anyway, of 8 Plymouth Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, and this is to construct a single-family dwelling with associated utilities, grading, and landscaping. A portion of the septic system and grading will fall within the 100-foot wetland buffer zone. The area in question has been cleared out and maintained as lawn for many years. Map 133, lot 1089, 6 Plymouth Road in Wareham, Mass. And a notice to open hearing, please.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. And who's here representing this project? Please come forward and identify yourselves. While you're walking, Christine will be joining us via Zoom this afternoon. John, is she on?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here.
My name's Frank Gallagher. I'm Gallagher Engineering. My office is in Foxborough, and the owner and the applicant is Gino Vasconcelos. I'm just going to use this.
Yes, and to do that, you'll have to make sure you can talk into the microphone so they can hear you.
So this property address is 6 Plymouth Road, and you can see on the plan Plymouth Road runs up and down on this side of the page, and this is the lot here. It had a house on it at some time in the past, and the house was torn down. There's an existing garage that still remains. The applicant actually lives in the house right here at number 8, but he owns both lots. He's got a daughter, and he's seeking to build a house for his daughter to live in. If you look at the plan, this green line is a BVW that was flagged by Brooke Monroe of Pine Brook Consulting. And then this red line on the plan is a 50-foot buffer The orange line is the 100-foot buffer to that BVW. As I said, there was an existing house that was approximately in the location where we're proposing the new house. This has all pretty much been cleared and maintained as lawn for many years when the original house was there. So, so that's really pretty much always been used by the applicant. So what we have proposed is a three-bedroom house, single-family house that's more close toward Plymouth Road. It's sort of at the front of the lot. We did some soil testing behind where the house would be, and we have an on-site septic system in that location. It's a couple of leaching trenches, a septic tank, and then a couple of leaching trenches. The topography is pretty flat up in the area where the house is proposed, but then it drops off quite a bit down toward the wetland. So where we have the septic system proposed, there's a condition when you're designing a septic system that we refer to as breakout. And what that essentially means is you have to kind of hold a level grade to a certain point away from the septic system, and then you can begin a slope. So really, whatever the grade of the septic system is, you should hold it for 15 feet beyond the septic system, and then you can start a 3-to-1 slope to get back to where the existing grade is. And that's just what we've done here. So to meet that breakout condition, we have some sloping here. And at the base of that slope, I have an erosion control barrier that follows that. And all of that work goes into the 100-foot buffer zone to that BVW.
Okay.
It's not within the 50, but it is within the 100. I think at that point that's closest to the bordering vegetated wetland, it's about 65 feet to the base of that slope.
Okay.
And again, it's in an area that's, we're not clearing, we're not cutting trees. We're really working in an area that's been maintained as a lawn for a long time.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's what we've got.
John, can you hear us with this AC running? Yes. At one point, it'll feel like a hot flash, so I may have to ask you to turn it back on. Okay. Now, questions. I'll start with Kwame. Any questions?
Yes, I know you don't have the plans for the house yet, and this is probably going to be just shooting in the dark, but when you put the house in, are you having like dry well systems?
It's outside of us.
It's
outside of the
the
100
house?
foot.
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay, so right now, I don't have
But
any other
the
questions.
recommendation is there be a dry
Right.
well, but we can't set it as a requirement, because
Okay. That's
the only thing we're
commission.
talking about within the 100,
okay.
within the 100 foot is a piece of the septic system. Anything else, Kwame?
No, that's about it. Thank
Michael?
you.
So it does look like there's a tree next to that septic system. That wouldn't be impacted at all?
That tree.
That big tree.
Yeah, that big tree, I think that it can be saved.
All right.
It's, in that area, we're not doing any grading, and the trench comes up short of the tree. So your intention was to save that big tree.
Well, my daughter wanted to save it. I wanted to cut it down because it's so close to her new house. That's all. She wants to save it. I want to cut it. So, what do you guys say?
So you save it.
Save it?
Of course.
Okay, well, it's just close to her house. I said if there's ever a hurricane, I don't want to break a branch.
It's outside of the 100, so it's a decision with your insurance company.
Oh, okay. So if it comes, it comes. If it stays, it stays. Insurance.
It's outside of us.
Okay. All right.
but I know what it is to want my trees until they start hitting the house.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's got a master's in global sustainability and all that stuff, and she loves all the, you know what I mean? So she's like, I want the tree down, but it's so close to your house, so see how that goes.
We'll see when the mold starts growing on the house because there's not enough sun. Michael, anything
No,
else?
that's all I had, thank you.
Paula Jean?
Yeah, so I went out there, and I didn't see any stakes anywhere for the project.
Okay.
So don't we require it to be staked? Because I looked at the plans, of course, first online, but it's never the same as seeing it in person. I saw all the mattresses, I saw the empty space. I'm like, okay, this is, figured out where 8 was. But there weren't any, nothing was
Stakes for the
marked.
house?
Staked out for where the septic would be, you know.
Oh, well,
where-
just, I don't,
Any
haven't
of
got to
it,
there
yeah.
yet.
Okay.
Anything, usually we require it to be staked, anything that we're gonna be taking into consideration. So I was just mentioning it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
That's
staked
right,
any
first
of
thing
it
on the
yet.
website, I think, for the
Okay.
conservation.
Well,
yeah.
that's my bad. I didn't realize that.
All right, anything else, Paula
Nothing
Jean?
else, no, thank you.
Scott Sobey. Scott S.
So, I guess maybe it's a procedural question that I have. So you're proposing building part of this septic system into the buffer zone, including this breakout area. So I'm wondering, so the RDA is a process of determining whether we think that there will be a substantive impact on the wetlands buffer area. And so it can be interpreted in different ways. But I'm wondering if this isn't enough into that 100-foot buffer area, that it should be a notice of intent rather than an RDA.
Christine? Can you respond to Scott's question?
So I was under the impression that the Board of Health had already granted a variance for this one. So I didn't think that it was going to be too big of an issue for something like that, especially since most of the work is going on outside of the buffer zone. It's just the grading and the septic, or at least part of the septic that's in that buffer zone.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
just
that's
the-
my question.
Yeah. Well, this plan's approved by the Board of Health.
Well, but we have different agendas.
Right,
We have different
understood.
responsibilities under the law.
Right. And so what I guess you have to weigh off is whether this is enough of an impact to warrant filing a full-blown notice of intent.
Right, that's the
And-
question. And we have
yeah.
other hearings also where we sometimes are reviewing proposals where, let's say, a deck or a porch is demolished, and they've asked to make it much larger into the wetlands area. And sometimes they come as RDAs, sometimes they come as NOIs. So I guess I'm asking whether this is enough. I'm not sure where the boundary is between RDA and NOI.
Well, Frank, is there a question, could this septic system be turned 90 degrees and put where the existing garage is? Which takes it totally out of our jurisdiction?
Yeah, well, I guess it could, but you'd have to demo the garage.
You don't plan to do that?
No,
Okay,
no.
sorry, back up.
And then just to hopefully help in your assessment, the reason we thought an RDA here was because, in effect, we're not really breaking new ground. We're not. If we were working in an area that hadn't been previously developed, I think maybe a notice would be more appropriate. But we're working in an area that's already long ago been, cleared and planted as lawn, and the ground is all stabilized. So where our work ends and where our erosion control barrier ends, you have, established lawn, so that that area between the limit of our work and the bordering vegetated wetland is stabilized ground that we don't intend to disturb, and
Right, so I guess what your responsibility is now is to convince us that this is not a significant impact on the
Yeah.
wetlands area. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
How many square feet will you be disturbing within the 100-foot buffer? The corner of the septic system.
I can give you an estimate, I think. I don't have it.
Let's just, it's,
Let me just say.
considering the project, what percent? Maybe 10?
Probably 10. That's 40 by an average width of probably 25. So 25 by 40 is, I mean, approximately the area within the buffer zone.
It's 100 square feet.
So that's about 1,000 square
1,000 square
feet.
feet. yeah.
And the lot area is almost 19,000, 18,760.
Okay. That was just one,
So about 5% of the total area anyway.
all right. Scott, anything else? Scott S., anything else?
No, thank you.
Jessica, any questions?
I don't think I have any specific questions now.
Scott P., any questions? No. Christine, any comments?
I did actually have a question about it's sort of like a stone wall that's now kind of been overgrown by a lot of plants and flowers now towards the back of the parcel. It's,
Yeah. Do you know how long ago was that stone wall put in? The back of the property? It's on the plan.
yeah, it's where the erosion control stops. It kind of puts into that wall. And
Yeah,
then,
That's this wall right here. Yeah, that,
I'll explain it.
yeah.
This has been here forever, that, and so when I ripped the house down, they were just,
You'll have to come to the microphone, please.
okay. That, the piece she's talking about, that was, the house was built on like just little stones, and I just laid them at the base of the hill, just to keep stuff from ever washing down anyways, just to get rid of the rocks, the stones. They're like about this wide, this long. There was the foundation of the house, so I just had them lay them out just along the edge of the base of the hill. That's there already.
Okay.
That's about it. Not,
Christine, does that answer you?
yeah.
no digging or anything was done. It's just laid them out just to put them someplace.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering because it looked like that had popped up sometime within like the last year or so.
Yeah, when the house came down October, I think it was, in October.
All right.
It was just a place to put them.
Is there anybody online or in the audience who'd like to comment on this project? Any other comments from the board? I'm not, I really do believe it is, that an RDA is sufficient for this project. That's my opinion. Anybody else requiring a notice of intent for it? I'm not hearing anybody. No one else is known to speak on it, so
I'll make a motion to close the
we
hearing,
have a
please.
motion to close the hearing. And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. We're closed. 3600. And Christine, your recommendation?
-3, -6, with just using silt fences as well during the erosion control.
Okay?
Well, thank you.
That's it?
Nope, not yet.
New to this.
Okay,
So move.
we have that motion.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstains? 600. Now you're set. You have it. Don't do any work until you get the paperwork from Christine.
Okay.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
I'm
much.
sure somewhere down the line, too many leaves in the gutter,
Oh, my daughter
Or the
loves,
ins-
she
or the
loves
ins-
nature, and so do
no,
I.
no, no, or the insurance company may insist that there be no
Yeah,
tree
okay.
close to a property.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, you're right, discuss it with them,
But
see what
that's
they have to say.
outside of our jurisdiction, just that
All
I
right,
face
Thank you
that.
very much, and everybody have a safe holiday.
Yep, same to you, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, please.
All right. On the request for notice of intent for David Jones, 26 rather, Scheffler Drive in Wareham, Mass. Construction of a
Wait,
new...
wait, where?
20 Kennedy Street.
David, did you say David Jones? No, did you, Mike?
Yeah, I said
Oh,
David
sorry.
Jones.
Thank you. Duh, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Okay, continue reading, please.
Yep, David Jones, 26 Scheffler Street in Wareham, Mass. Construction of a new single-family dwelling, map 78-2, lots 124, 126, 20 Kennedy Street in Wareham, Mass. And a notice to open hearing, please.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstain, we're opening. And, oh, never mind, I'm looking from one from 2013. No wonder I got the wrong name, sorry. And who's here representing this project?
David Jones.
Okay, Dave, David, talk to us about what you would like to do.
May I approach? I have the packets, the notice of intent prepared for everybody here.
Oh, did anybody want one? I don't need one. Well, you can pass out those that might want it.
And there's a larger map of the property too.
Oh, I must have it on my computer. Thank you.
I guess I'll take one, thank you.
Sometimes for me, it's easy to have in front of me than
Yep.
monitoring through
See, I happen to have my original one from 2013.
I got one of those.
Okay,
Please. Thank you.
There's a letter that you do not have that I included recently, just a little history of the property.
you can talk to us about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You have to excuse me, I'm kind of nervous.
We're fine.
For the people that do not have this cover letter, would you like me to read it off?
Yes, please.
Dear members of the Wareham Conservation Commission, thank you for taking your time to review my notice of intent and for hearing my application. I'd like to provide a little background on the history of this property that I hope is helpful as you review my application. This property has already been through the permitting process once. An order of conditions was issued under DEP file number SE76-2256, and the town issued a building permit for a replacement home. Relying on those approvals, I removed the existing house with every intention of moving forward with the construction. Before the order of conditions expired, I tried to obtain an extension. The COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the project, government offices were closed, the permitting process slowed down, and the Massachusetts temporarily extended many state and local permits because of the pandemic. Although those extensions have long since expired, and I understand this project now requires a new notice of intent, I never intended to abandon this project. My goal has always been to build a home here. Even though the house was removed, the property didn't become an undeveloped lot. Municipal water and sewer services are still connected. The sewer betterment is still being paid. The original retaining walls are still there, and the original dock pilings remain. These are all part of the property's long history as a residential lot. When I recently met with the building department, I was advised to complete the Conservation Commission process first and then return to discuss the building permit. That's why I'm asking the commission to consider not only the plans before you today, but also the history of this property. I understand this application requires a new notice of intent and will receive a new DEP file number. I'm not asking for the commission to change that. If you approve this project, my request is that your findings or order of conditions recognize this application as the continuation of the redevelopment previously approved under DEP file SE 762256, and that the interruption resulted from the COVID-19 pandemic rather than abandonment of the project. Because this will result in a new order of conditions. I also hope the conditions reflect the project being approved today. If there is ever a need for future maintenance of the existing residential features or small accessory structure, I hope those can be reviewed under the regulations in effect at the time rather than being permanently prohibited. My goal has never changed. I just want the opportunity to complete the residential project that was previously approved. I appreciate your time, your consideration, and the work you do for the town of Wareham. Respectfully, myself.
Thank you. I think that sort of sums up what happened in 2013 and what's happening now. Questions of Kwame? You want to talk to the project?
Excuse me, it was going to expire 2019, and I was trying to get it extended into 2020.
Just that in 2013, we did the initial
Oh, yeah,
order
we
of
did.
conditions, so for our documents, starts then.
Okay.
Okay. Kwame, questions?
Yeah, I kind of remember this from 2000, whatever it was. It was a little while ago. But I do not have any questions at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Michael?
Yeah, just one quick question here. So the 30-foot no activity zone goes through the garage? I'm looking at the
Yep,
line.
so I think it's 147 square feet of the buffer zone, which is basically the size of a Stop and Shop parking lot for your car.
All right. Yeah,
It's all in the notice of intent. I have it here as, 154 square feet. I also have the net changes and the improvements from the existing dwelling that I removed. The entire structure is going to be right behind the 100-foot riverfront line. The garage will just be that one little corner that's into the wetland buffer. And if you look at the flags, it's opposite of those VW flags.
Anything else, Michael?
no, that's all. Thank you.
Paula Jean?
I went there and finally found where your lot was. You have a little bit of a driveway there where I parked. It's kind of a jungle.
Yeah, I was in there myself staking.
I
The other
didn't even
weekend.
see any, I didn't get in there to see stakes. I kept looking.
I
and
took pictures of.
I believe you. But it didn't look like any, I thought I was like the first explorer
Okay.
to
Oh, yeah.
crawl through. So
This is the picture of the house that was moved in 2013. I don't see trees like there are now, so
Right,
it tells you that that's overgrown in the last 13 years.
it's all like
Oh,
multi-floor
I removed that in 2018.
Yes, but I know, but the idea is here's proof that it wasn't a wooded lot
Right, right.
when, at the time, so it just
It's
tells me.
just like a lot of just invasives.
And
multi-floor
once
rows.
you get through that first wall of hawthorn bushes,
Yeah.
it's pretty open inside. There's just
It
low,
looked like
low
maybe,
surface.
but
right.
so good for someone if you're getting stakes in there, but it was pretty crazy.
Oh, it
But
was.
I could see
yeah.
your dock. I went down on either side by the water. So.
I ended up with one wood tick, luckily.
Well, I don't have any specific questions, and although I had 200 feet for river setback in my mind.
It's a 200 foot,
correct?
it's a 200 foot where we have review of the activity within 200 feet. There's nothing to say they can't build within the 200 feet, just that we oversee projects within 200, not just 100 as that's on the plan.
No other questions, thank you.
Scott S.
Yeah, I couldn't get back there. I didn't bring a machete. There was a car parked in the way, and it was all briars, and I wasn't going to go.
That car was the neighbor's car across the street. I didn't know he had cleared that section until I went down there just recently to do the
Yeah,
staking.
I wasn't going to go through the briars and all that stuff to try to get in there to see the staking. So I really can't ask any questions because I wasn't able to get in there.
I did take pictures of the staking if you'd like to see.
Not really.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, I have one other question. So, on the proposed site plan, and I noticed this isn't a stamped plan from JC Engineering. It's probably early in the process, but I did notice that the delineation of the wetlands was 2013.
Yes.
That's 13 years ago.
Yes, I tried to call the scientists that performed that. I left several messages. They never returned. I sent an email, they didn't return. They're in Bourne. I went to Christine, and I asked her if she had a copy, and she didn't tell me not to worry about it, but she said that it's on file.
My question is whether something that's 13 years old is still valid for a vegetative delineation.
I'd have to ask Christine what her thought is on that.
Yeah, Christine, can you comment on that question, please?
I think if it's 13 years old, it might need to be redelineated just in case there's been some additional growth of that resource area. I forgot the firm that had done the delineation. They haven't returned any calls.
No, I know when we talked last week or the week before, you had mentioned something about something was corrected with the coastal bank, and it didn't seem like too much of a issue with the delineation report, because that side of the property hasn't, I'm not building on that side of the property where that growth is.
Now, you're just putting in a single-family dwelling. You're not putting in a garage, are you?
Yeah, on the drawing, there's a garage that
Unfortunately, that's within the 30-foot, but Scott, continue with your questions, please.
Well, the entire project is within the 200-foot zone,
Yep.
but that 30-foot line may move depending on what's happened in the intervening 13 years. The banks change, river banks change over time. They sediment up, they wear away. In that 13 years, there may be significant changes to where that 30-foot line needs to be drawn. So that would be my primary concern at this point. It does look like you have some flexibility for moving the structures closer to the road.
The way I have it now is the garage would be 39 feet back from the road, and the house would be 35 feet back from the road, and the house and the garage would be 12 feet apart from each other. The only part that goes into the 30-foot wetland offset is the 157 square feet. It's literally the size of a Stop and Shop parking spot for a car.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, is that 30-foot line may have moved depending on what the river has done in the 13 years intervening. So, it may be, maybe you have more property than you thought you did. Maybe you have less.
Moved out, you mean?
Yeah, maybe, it could have moved out, but could have moved back. We don't know until...
Yeah, and the way I have this drawing is, I like the woods. I want that buffer in between me. I don't want to cut anything down. I don't have to. I need to have what's here. My aunt's going to be moving in from Texas with me. She's elderly, and we're both going to be living there, and it needs, wherever we're not able to build a basement, we need that garage space for the cars and any living.
Yeah, I'm not trying to argue that you shouldn't have the structure or the space or any of that stuff, or whether anyone should live with you. I'm asking about what the new wetlands delineation would tell us about where those buildings can be.
Yeah, I see.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, because if that's a garage, I certainly don't see any driveway to the garage, but okay. Jessica, any questions?
I see on the left side of the plan, intermittent stream, an edge of stream,
Yes.
but I don't see any measurements showing offset from that stream heading to the right. So where that 100-foot would go off of the edge of that stream.
So there's that, you're talking about the blue line that says edge of stream?
Exactly, and where it says intermittent stream behind it.
So the blue line, there was a 100-foot river set, the dotted line is the 100-foot river set off of
That's
that.
from the Sippacan River. We're talking about the intermittent stream.
Oh, that, I don't have an answer for that.
We're going to need it.
And I guess a secondary question would be, is it possible to, I see in your narrative, you address you address and reject the idea of connecting the garage to the dwelling. I don't understand your rationale there. That's why it wouldn't be possible. But it would seem like that would pull it further out of our 30-foot no touch, which we really do everything we can to protect that 30-foot buffer zone.
My reasoning is because I want to keep the woods and the buffer on the other side of the garage intact as much as possible, and I would like to have access to the back of the yard from the front of the yard. And if I put them together, there won't be any access to the back of the house.
That sort of sounds like a design question as far as how large you make that structure and how it would flow. Are you intending on building out a dwelling or an ADU above the garage and you want them separate? Is it about that type of use, or is it possible to design the dwelling in such a way that you are bringing that structure completely out of our 30-foot?
I've tried different angles. I've tried pushing it forward. I've tried moving it back. This seems the most reasonable spot. I actually, in here, I wrote alternatives here. So I evaluate alternatives to proposed work, including practical and substantially equivalent economic alternatives with less adverse effects on the riverfront area. The alternatives considered were no build, retain existing dwelling. The former dwelling was substandard, non-conforming, and encroached significantly into the 100-foot riverfront area and a 30-foot wetland offset. It has since been demolished. The no-build alternative would leave the lot vacant and forego the opportunity to restore the former dwelling footprint as previous vegetation cover. This alternative was rejected because it provides no environmental improvement and precludes a reduction in impervious coverage within the 100-foot mark. Rebuild in place. Reconstruction on the former dwelling footprint would place the principal dwelling within the 100-foot riverfront area and within the 30-foot wetland offset. This was rejected in favor of the current design, which places the principal dwelling approximately 30 feet further from the BVW and entirely outside the 30-foot wetland offset. Attached garage, no detached accessory structure. An attached garage would increase the bulk and footprint of the principal dwelling and would require encroachment into the 100-foot river offset.
Could I ask you to pause right there?
Yep.
I think that's part of what I'm looking at, is would require encroachment into the 100-foot riverfront offset by the principal structure. But what I'm actually seeing is a reduction in encroachment into that area if your garage, which is entirely within the 100-foot offset right now, was shifted over.
See,
So yes, a lot of, hold on.
now, it's the 30-foot no-touch zone that we really are concerned about. I don't believe, wait a minute, 100-foot, they can still build within the 100-foot, just get us permission, right? There's nothing to say I can't put something within the 100-foot, just that it requires our approval.
Right.
It's the 30-foot that we don't want to be disturbed.
But I think what we're missing here too is that there's an overlap of multiple areas, right? We have 100-foot from the Sipican River, we have 100-foot from the intermittent stream, which isn't reflected or shown in the plan. We have the 30-foot, we have all of these. I think it's worth, and you don't have to take my advice, but I think it's worth getting an updated plan and having the wetlands flagged again.
So this is when I went to Christine, and I don't sound like I'm whining or complaining. All these plans were done previous, and it was all approved previous to COVID. When I was ready to start building again, I went to the engineers to approach them with my new foundation requirements because my life had changed and I needed new stuff, thinking it was going to be low. And I know you guys, as conservation, don't really care about this type of thing, but when I went to them, they said I needed a brand new contract. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe $1,500 just to redo what they already had. They gave me a quote for $12,000. That's when I went to Christine, and Christine suggested I just take the existing plans, do my new footprint, do the new order of intent, and then we'll go from there. And that's where I'm at.
I can understand
I
that.
just, $12,000 all over again was a lot.
I'm wondering if there's an easy way, easy equals cheap, to do, to look at some kind of satellite mapping or something, just to compare 2013 with something more current, 2025, 2026, just to look at that part of the river to see if it's significantly changed.
There's one thing I can tell you, which I don't know if this matters either. The property directly across from my lots is owned by the town, and there's a pipe running off the highway that goes through that property, and it goes into the corner of my lot that goes into the intermittent stream, and that's where the runoff goes from the highway. I wasn't able to find an easement. It shows it on the drawing. It says 12-inch CMP, which I believe is a town drainage pipe. So I'm not really sure how to go about that. I'm trying to do this on my own, and I'm kind of stuck.
You do understand that we have obligations under the law to protect the wetlands, including in the town's bylaws, 30 feet, no activity, but we have to know where that 30 feet is from any of those wetlands areas. So while we may be sympathetic as fellow citizens of Wareham, we do have certain obligations that we have to uphold.
So, suggestions on how I move forward?
Have you spoken with the building department about building in the same footprint of where the house was previously?
I spoke to them 2 weeks ago, and he told me to go through you guys first, get this approved, and then we'll speak about the building permit.
Did you ask at all about the difference between building something new or just reconstructing what was the structure that was there previously?
No, okay, I had removed the structure that was there previously.
Right.
I know I'll be the only house on that whole entire street that will actually be behind the 100-foot river zone. Every house on that whole street is in the 100-foot river zone and in the buffer zone. The house that was there dates back to the 30s.
Yeah.
And actually, I found a print up in the loft before I removed it. It had the fire chief of Boston, his last name was Kennedy, and the name of the street is Kennedy. So it must have been his summer cottage. So I guess I need to ask what my steps are to move forward and get this in a position where I have some approval status. I know Christine's been very helpful, and she's gotten me this far.
Yeah, we are concerned that we really, really need to know the current delineation of the wetland. You have the coastal bank, and then you have bordering vegetation wetland flags. And we'd like to know what those are, what the position they're in today. Is that what I'm hearing, folks?
Yep.
If you were to get the wetlands flagged, how would they deliver that data to you? Could they deliver that data on a plan that they would provide to you? Or how would they give you an updated something to be able to use as a tool?
I'm not 100% sure how that process works. I can assume, but it's not good to assume. I believe it's a scientist that goes out there.
Yep.
and then they flag the area, they must have some type of report. I mean, it is a delineation report from the research I did, and there is one on file for this property. It's probably with the original notice of intent.
Does that then flow through into the plan by the engineer? Do they deliver that information to the engineer who then incorporates it into their plan, or is there something
That I don't know.
short of that that they could provide to you?
So what you're suggesting is see if I can get an independent,
A quote, maybe. I mean, I think that it is less expensive to get the wetlands delineation done. I think it's somewhere in the range of $1,500 or so. That's what I've heard, and I don't know if that's accurate or not.
right, and
But
if that's the case, that's attainable. It's,
But if that's a way to achieve or get close to, and then if we can figure it out. Did you have questions?
I did, if I may. Mr. Jones, could you help me understand, in your letter, you've asked, because this will result in a new order of conditions, I also hope the conditions reflect the project being approved today. If there is ever a need for future maintenance of the existing residential features or small accessory structure, I hope these can be reviewed under the regulations in effect at that time, rather than being permanently prohibited. Could you help me understand what you're trying to achieve here, or what you're concerned about?
so my concern was, there is a retaining wall. I'd like to rebuild the retaining wall at some point. Right now, there's a large pine tree out there it seems like it's pulling at it, one of the scrub pines, and if that ever does come down, it's gonna probably take the retaining wall with it. And that's right behind where the dock is. And then that's also another thing I'd like to, pursue in time is rebuilding of the dock. There's pylons there right now, so you can see the existing dock. But I know I'd have to go through the committee again just to do anything with that as well, to straighten the pylons out, or put a ramp there or whatever. I just don't want to just say, this is it, you can't do anything else with the property after this, basically.
So you're concerned that
Well, the original order of conditions, it pretty much said that.
the original order of conditions did say that it would be the end of the work and development you could do?
It said there'll be no more further building beyond this.
Okay.
I wasn't really looking for further building, more like maybe like a garden shed, or doing a retaining wall, or, down the road, after I get this place paid off, if I'm able to.
Thank you.
Yeah, the concern is that the garage being planned is inside the 30-foot, which would not be allowed. And it's an awful big garage for two
Yes.
cars, but there's no driveway going to it, so is it really going to be a garage for cars?
Oh, yes, so I took the advice and the suggestion from Christine where and again, I'm not whining, but the $12,000, to avoid paying that all over again to redo everything, to mark it up, I didn't mark up a section for the driveway. I was mainly focusing on the actual structures because I thought that's what you would be more interested in. However, the driveway will be made of pervious materials, crushed stone, or what do you call those? The pavers that are spaced wider apart and they let the water soak in.
Dry laid stone of some kind? Dry laid
Yeah,
pavers.
something I prefer that better than like the shell or paved. Even though on that road I did reference 4 driveways that have paved driveways down there. I don't know how they got permission for that, but
So, Madam Chair, if you don't mind, if I can summarize what we're hearing?
Please,
So I think what we're hearing is that the wetlands need to be redelineated, or at least someone to tell you that it hasn't moved. I think that would be okay, too.
actually Christine and I talked about that briefly. I don't know if she recalls. Christine,
Well,
would you have any
Well,
information to chime
I'm
in
in
on?
the- I'm in
let
middle of
Scott
summarizing.
finish down his summary first, and then we'll talk about each point, okay?
So that's the first point. Second point is that, and that redelineation needs to include the intermittent stream. There can't be any new structures built within 30 feet of either of those. The plan needs to include driveways. And in the notes for the plans, there should be the materials that the driveways are going to be constructed from. So that-
And I would like to see dry wells.
And dry wells, because it's a sensitive area. Though it would depend on the water table at that point too, wouldn't it?
So when you say dry wells, I mean like going from the gutters?
Yeah,
So when we built the house, I was wanting to do what's called a Craftsman hybrid. So it would have extended roof lines. There would be no gutters. It would just fall like natural rain.
so there'll be stone underneath.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm not looking to build a ugly cookie cutter house. to
Right,
be
so
honest.
that's what I hear as a summary. So it looks like you're going to have to come back to us with revised plans.
So to confirm intermittent stream for the delineation report, the driveways, and the materials of the driveway.
and new flags.
Yeah, and the garages needs to be moved out of the 30-foot no-activity zone.
So I believe the purpose of me here was mainly for that one little corner of the garage and asking permission to build within that one corner.
Sometimes a suggestion like what Scott made will help avoid a denial. It gives you an opportunity to come back, having had the feedback from the commission, knowing what's approvable and not. Because I think if you pushed a vote tonight, you would get denied on building within the 30-foot no-touch. But
Okay.
you have an opportunity to amend based on the information that you've gotten tonight and come back with something that is approvable.
I understand.
So even if you would take the proposed house and shift it 90 degrees, which means you can make the garage closer to the house, but you can build within the 100-foot riverfront. You just can't build within the 30-foot no-touch,
Right, and
correct?
I
Yeah.
thought of that, but I was trying to stay outside of the 100-foot riverfront. 'cause
You
I
don't-
thought that's,
Is that for insurance purposes?
well, originally I thought it was because I needed to, and that's what the original plan did that I had with the property.
You can't, because it's 200 feet.
Yeah.
That goes beyond the road, so there's no way you can stay outside the 200-foot.
Well,
buffer
I meant
zone.
I wanted to stay outside the 100-foot because I thought that's what, and plus I wanted some yard from the house to the river. I didn't want,
But on the river, there is no 100-foot.
What?
It's 200 feet.
I have it as a 100-foot riverfront offset.
Yeah, we
Granted,
noticed that.
but this commission has oversight within 200 feet of a riverfront, not just 100. So if you were to take that structure, shift it 90 degrees, and can you move it closer to the road, which still gives you your yard between you and the river? We're trying to find some way of allowing you to have a garage that is not within the 30 feet, because you will not get that permitted. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure everybody else will say the same thing. We're really very strict about that 30-foot no-touch zone.
We're trying to help you.
I understand, and I don't try not to come off as,
No, it's all right, it's all right. Okay?
Does
Does
that-
it give you some hint, and you and Christine can speak after the 4th?
okay.
All right. Anybody else would like to comment on this project? If not, or
Not
continue?
close, continue.
Continue.
Second.
Do you want to make it till
2 meetings?
7:15, or you want to make it the 1st of August?
I'm gonna need a little bit of time to figure out how to get this intermittent stream and driveways and the delineation report figured out.
Okay. I'm looking for my calendar. Where did it go?
September?
How about August 5th?
That works.
Make a
If-
motion to continue to August 5th.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. August 5th. And if you can't make it, you can ask for a continuance. You don't have to be here, but you and Christine work about the things we've talked about. Christine, any other comments on this?
No, no comments, but I think you guys are maybe getting a little confused with the whole riverfront thing. Yeah, riverfront's 200 feet full jurisdiction. It's just there's usually mitigation required if there's anything going on between that 0 to 100 foot, which is why that one gets so much more regulated than the 100 to 200 foot. Which I don't believe that you mentioned the planting that you were going to do in that 100-foot riverfront area, because I thought you were going to do plantings in there.
Yes, so it's going to be the regular grass and any plantings that the Conservation Committee recommends.
So this could be part of your revised plan?
I'm not sure the different types of plants. I know there's a few. My aunt's a master gardener, so she'll love that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Have a good 4th.
Thank you, you as well.
Next, please.
Alrighty. On the request for notice of intent for Ms. Natalia Pires, 25 Summer Street, Fairhaven, Mass. The applicant is proposing to construct a single-family dwelling, deck, and perform associated grading. Portions of this work will occur within the buffer zone to a cranberry bog and associated bog ditch. These wetland features are located on an adjacent property. There are no wetland resource areas located on the adjacent property. Erosion control will be placed at the proposed work limit, and it's map 97, lots 1027, 22 West Street in Wareham, Mass. And can I get a notice to open hearing, please?
I have that motion. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. The hearing is open. And who's here representing this project, please?
Good evening, Brian Grady, GAF Engineering, here for Natalia Pires, who's recently acquired this lot to construct their single-family home. The portion of the existing home and some site grading is within the buffer zone to an adjacent agricultural ditch with the associated cranberry bog. The 30-foot no-activity zone does not enter onto the property. Most of the work is outside of the buffer zone, the driveway, leaching area, a little more than half of the house, and most of the grading and the utility installations. So if I could answer any questions.
Thank you. Jessica?
No questions.
Scott S.
I'm-
Take your turn.
That's me.
Scott S.
I'm sorry, Brian, I have no questions for you.
Paula Jean?
Nope, no questions. I got a great tour from the applicant's father.
Yep, he's present if you have any other questions.
Michael?
No questions, thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Scott P. Christine, any comments?
No, I have no comments. This is mostly outside of the jurisdiction.
Okay. Anybody online or in the audience want to comment on this project? I'm seeing none.
Move to close the hearing?
Second,
I have a
please.
motion and a second to close the hearing. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, 6-0. Hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation.
A standard order of conditions.
So moved?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Done.
Thank you. Just a question, Old Woods Road's coming up later. I know that's just been continued for the file number, which you have received. So
Would you like to take this out of order since it's
Well-
your project?
you need me to stick around, you can, I think the only thing you were waiting for was the file number, which has been received.
Oh, it's way down
I know, wait a
It's
second.
on the third page.
Christine, I think we're only waiting for the DEP for this one?
We were only waiting for the DEP file number for this one, and we did receive it.
Okay, I will take a, may I have a motion to take, Joseph Perkins, Old 29 Old Woods Road out of order?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Okay, so we're here for the continuation of 29 Old Woods Road. I think the only thing we're waiting was the DEP. Christine, was there anything on that?
DEP number came back already.
So we're good to go? There was no comments?
Nope, there were no comments, no concerns the last time we'd spoken about this project.
All right, anybody to comment on this project?
None
If
for me.
not,
I just have a quick question. Brian, is there any change to the septic system proposed for the new structure? Okay, thank you. Move to close the hearing.
thank you.
Second.
And I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Hearing is closed. Christine, the recommendation on this?
As standard order of conditions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Completed. Done. See Christine before you start any work.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Good fourth.
You as well.
Yep, thanks.
Stay safe.
Okay, so we took that one out of order. Sorry. The next, please, I believe, is 192 Glen Charlie. Is that the next hearing?
It's under a continued.
No.
That one
Oh,
had
I'm
gotten
sorry, it's
continued at the
continued.
last meeting
I'm sorry.
for,
Wait, Christine, wait, let me just, there's no new hearings. Everybody else is continued, so okay, now it's me.
Yep.
Now it's me. So we
Correct.
have a continued at 192 Glen Charlie Road.
Again, my name is Vincent Percio. I'm the owner of 192. This is my builder, Matt Smith. And we are here to hopefully see what we can do about trying to get my deck built. We did make some changes, which I did upload to the portal to show a little bit more about how the backyard is structured. Literally like an hour ago, I don't know if you have access to the portal now, but I did upload a couple pictures of the backyard for those who have not had the chance to go out to look at it. But we've made some changes that I hope will be sufficient in getting it within the existing footprint of what's already built there. So I had my builder come out, we took a look at it, and we believe that we could bring the footings back into where the rocks are for the cesspool without disturbing the cesspool within the footing, or essentially within the footprint that's already there. And not only that, but we would actually be bringing the footprint of the stairs farther from the water from where it exists today. It would fit within what's there. The footings would have to come out maybe 18 inches from where they are now in order for us to give them a solid footing. But again, it is within the footprint of where the cesspool currently is. So I did move the stakes as well to where the new area would be.
Okay. Questions? Kwame?
Oh, thank you for providing the additional plans on there and pictures.
Of course.
Actually, I do not have any questions. I'm good. Thank you.
Michael?
No questions here, thank you.
Paula Jean?
No questions, thank you.
Scott? Yes.
So where the stakes were today, that's where you want to put them. It's about 12 feet from the edge of the house, is that right?
That is correct. Exactly where the stakes are right now. The only stakes that will actually be moved backwards are the ones that are at the bottom of the stairs. I can't get the stakes underneath the stairs, but that footprint's actually going to be moved backwards a little bit.
Okay, so the stakes about 5/8 of an inch wide. The holes for the sonotubes are going to be bigger than that.
They're going to be about 12 inches wide.
Okay, so which way does that, is the stake where the center of the excavation is, or one edge?
I'm sorry. So the stakes that he's talking about at 12 feet the sonotubes are not gonna be at 12 feet. The sonotubes are gonna be back at about 8 feet from where the, we're gonna move about 18 inch, it's gonna be about 9'6" from off of the house, for where the deck itself is gonna be out to 12 feet or 11'6" off of the house.
So you're cantilevering about 3 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna cantilever as much as the board would allow me to, but we're trying to stay without, right now, where his deck sits 20 feet from the water, where the cesspool doesn't allow me to build on top of the cesspool.
Right.
You, as the conservation, don't want me to come down towards the pond at all. So the best that we were able to do was right now there's 5 existing sonotubes that run down, and they sit on top of the ground basically, which obviously isn't code. So we're talking about coming down approximately 18 inches from where the existing, they're not sonotubes, just posts going into the ground sit. We're talking about coming 18 inches further out into where he's got it's got rocks with 2 different tiers of rocks to hold back the cesspool area. So we're asking to put in 3 posts, which will carry the weight of the deck using a girt. So that's what we're asking for.
So just clarify for me.
Sure.
Where the stakes are right now has nothing to do with where the sonotubes are gonna go.
We had put in 3 stakes across. Did you leave the 3 stakes?
Yeah, the ones that are in the little, kind of the rock hill where the
Yes.
vegetation is.
Yeah, so where the
Those
3 stakes are in the rock hill, those are the 3 stakes. There's
Okay.
3 stakes in the rock hill, and then there would have been a few stakes maybe to the outside if you left those.
So the ones that were on the outside, I actually took down because
okay.
those ones were too far out. We weren't going to go that far. The only ones I left remaining were the ones that were at the edge of the stairs. The other ones are the ones that we moved back as far as we could to be able to build the appropriate footings for the deck.
We came back towards the house as far as we possibly could to dig sonotubes.
And all of those stakes are essentially where there would be a sonotube.
Okay. All right, I guess I have no further questions. I'm not sure I've got clarification on where the stakes are today. That's the edge of the deck. That's 12 feet from the edge of the house.
The deck.
Well, if I was stand where the stakes are and looked up, that's the edge of the deck.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The
12 feet.
sonic tubes will be closer to the house than the edge of the deck.
That's correct.
Okay.
We were putting the sonotubes as far towards the house as we possibly can.
And
to
still
stay-
support the deck.
To support the deck. There's no way to go any further towards
Okay.
the house with the 3 tubes, and there's no way to go, obviously, you don't want me going any further
No,
down.
right.
So
Okay.
that's the only spot that those sonotubes can go to. It has to go there.
All right, so, yeah, if the sonotubes are no further out than the stakes, I'm okay with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Jessica?
Is that an active cesspool?
No. It was replaced, a septic tank was put in a long time ago, which that is staked. It's in the front yard.
Okay, no questions.
Thank you.
Scott P.
No questions.
Anybody else to comment on this project?
It was an open question, though.
What was the question?
That was how big is, we've established where the sonotubes are going to go, where the posts are, but not the size of the deck.
Do we,
So the contractor just said that he would bring the deck out as far as we would allow him to do.
We were, well,
the posts that are in there now show the extension of the deck.
the deck on the plan would be for 12 feet, so I would extend out. But if you tell me that we need to build less than that, right now his deck is rotted and falling off. So we were just trying to give him a little bit more of a deck area, but it's just gonna cantilever. If you
So
tell me
here's the question.
11'6",
If you put in the sonic tubes where you have planned,
yes, ma'am.
how far does the deck extend beyond the sonic tubes supporting the deck?
On paper, it's 2 feet right now.
So it's only 2 more
11'6".
feet beyond where the sonic tubes are going in.
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's it, 11'6".
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Anybody else on commenting? Christine, any comments?
No comments. I'm just impressed that you were able to manage something like that with the space you've got and the cesspool there.
Thank you. We really appreciate
Well, we
it.
spent hours going back and forth on the only other alternative would have been to go to the outside and then get a steel beam that ran across, and we're talking like $20,000, and that's just, that's
All
where
right.
we're at.
So, anybody, if nothing else,
I'll make a motion to close the hearing,
a
please.
motion to
Second.
close. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. The hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation?
A -3, -6. Just put some erosion controls around the limit of work when you're doing the digging.
Deal. Absolutely.
Okay, someone make that motion?
Moved.
I have that motion.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained. Done. Please
Thank
don't
you.
start your work. Thank you for your diligence on this until you get your paperwork from Christine after the 4th.
We still have to submit to the building department. We needed to talk to you first before
Yes,
we went
so you
further.
can tell them that we have approved the standard order of conditions and the plan, and you put the plan online, so, okay,
Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
you.
Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your holiday.
yep.
Just to clarify, it's not standard order of conditions.
No,
It's a
did I say
negative
standard order of
determination.
conditions? I didn't mean standard, it's a -3 and a 6 for order of an RDA. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. I'm trying to get my... Okay, the next we have, the safe harbor was going to be continued until 8/19. 7 Burgess Point until 10/21. Town of Wareham until 8/19. Next up is River Hawk. Anything on that one?
So I haven't heard anything. Last time that we spoke with them, they were trying to get permission from the owners of the bog property to allow them to fix the bog. I don't think that they've heard back from yet, because I haven't heard anything from Riverhawk.
Well, do you want to
I believe-
continue into July 15th?
Yeah, I believe he'd asked for a couple of weeks to try and get their cooperation.
Move to continue to July 15th.
Second.
I have that motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained. Okay, next thing we have is 17 Atlantic Ave. Certainly had our documentation on this one. And who's here representing that project?
Good evening, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering.
Good evening, Tyler Franklin from Rubin and Rubin.
Tyler Franklin, what,
It's a law firm, so.
We also have with us the project architect who's on Zoom. Would he be allowed to come into the
yes,
meeting?
please. John?
Joe Fournier. All righty, to start again, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering, here this evening on behalf of the applicant, 17 Atlantic Avenue LLC. Again, this is a project to raise or demo an existing single-family house and rebuild a new flood-compliant structure with a new innovative alternative septic system within the buffer zones to a salt marsh, coastal bank, land subject to coastal storm flowage, elevation 14. As the Commissioner is aware, we've been in front of you a few times. We've done some plan revisions to reduce the size of the structure down, preserve some mature trees on the property. Since we last met, we've updated a set of stairs, rotated them to maintain the 12-foot setback to the coastal bank. We've also added 300 square feet of mitigation plantings to the property on this lower side to enhance the buffer zone down to the salt marsh. We've also submitted some updated information. As the Commissioner is aware, inside your packets, we've submitted an exhibit showing that the overall structure and impervious coverage on the lot has a net reduction on the property. We're removing an existing shed that sits on the bank, reducing that by 64 square feet. The overall impact in between the 0 and 30-foot buffer is a net decrease of 139 square feet of impervious coverage in the 0 to 30-foot buffer. There is a slight increase within the 30 to 100 of 66 square feet, but overall there is a net reduction of impervious and structure coverage on the lot of 137 square feet. So vast improvement. As previously reviewed, we do have dry wells that are installed to prevent any runoff from heading down towards the salt marsh, further protecting that. And again, the new innovative alternative septic system, which will greatly reduce the nitrogen loading on the area in the associated bay and salt marsh. We've also had a chance to sit down with Christine, review the project in further detail. We brought Mr. Franklin into the project to review this with us as well. And we also had a chance to sit with Mr. Faraday, the Director of Planning, which has also submitted a letter into the record with his opinion and support of the project. I mean, at this time, we believe we meet all of the performance standards under the State Act and the local bylaw. And Mr. Franklin is here to discuss the project as well.
As you know, I've submitted a legal memo. I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't think it's necessarily a great deal of value to go over it, but in quick summation, I was brought into the fold when it seemed like the project was hitting a wall relative to the perception of some members of the commission that there's an absolute prohibition of work within the 30-foot no activity zone. I took a look at the regulations. In my opinion, that's not the case. There are exceptions and exemptions underneath the regulations. This project falls within the category of both. It is exempted to the extent that it is within the existing footprint of the prior structure. In my reading of it, that would include not only the building and the structures, but the roadways and utilities. That's within the definition of Section 17C2C under your regulations. I believe the intent is to include methods, means of egress and access. And as I articulated in the memo, that's associated with some protections afforded to those, or the discretion afforded to the commission to approve projects that need access within the 30-foot no activity zone. There are also exceptions where this commission has authority to approve a project within the 30-foot no activity zone. Of note is 17C1A, which permits this commission the authority to waive the no activity zone for redevelopment of a site that's altered with impervious surfaces, which the site is. And then there's section 17C1C, which permits this commission the authority to waive the 30-foot no activity zone when the net benefit of when there's a net benefit to the environment for the project. So I put together the legal memo. I submitted it. We got on a phone call and kind of walked through it with Christine and Josh. They tended to agree with my position that, or our reading of it, that in fact there is no absolute prohibition, that this commission has authority and discretion to approve work within the 30-foot no activity zone, and that this project falls within the exemptions and exceptions. And ultimately, what it boils down to is whether or not this project has an adverse impact on the wetland interests and the resource areas that this commission is sworn to protect, right? And we have, Bracken has submitted in-depth submittals indicating that the resource areas of coastal bank, land subject to coastal storm flowage, and salt marsh are all protected by this project. The work is it's completely within previously disturbed area and lawn. There is very little area, I believe it's just a few square feet, that are outside of the existing footprint. The applicant has done everything they can to listen to the comments and concerns of this commission, as well as the abutters, to come up with a project that not only addresses those concerns, meets the performance standards of the Act and the local regulations, but ultimately maintains and provides a net benefit to the buffer zone and the resource areas in this area.
You said plantings. Are you going to be putting plantings along the coastal bank?
Correct, yeah, in the lower area of the property.
Do you have a list?
Stuff like this, if approved through the staff, we'd ask for a condition that we could put in, work with staff, hire a professional consultant We would use salt-tolerant coastal plants in that area and submit a final plan to staff to review.
So we could very well indicate that if that is the case, nothing can be planted until Christine approves,
Yep.
and it is to be as much as native, okay, never mind.
It would be all native, and one of the other conditions was to put in a demarcated barrier along the buffer, which our client would do. So no
Okay.
further expansion of lawn areas.
All right, we'll start with the questions. I'm going to go with Kwame.
Yeah, thank you for showing the 3D images. That was, very helpful on the plans. So with talk to me about the stockpiling of the equipment and such for all this. It's not going to be next to any kind of resource areas for storage and anything like that, because it's a tight little area.
Oh, yeah, no, we would work with the contractor, do live loading with the demo of the structure. The existing foundation system would come out. So earthwork is around the house footprint, so we would live load into a truck, take everything out. We've already been in contact with the neighbor to the north who is concerned about protecting his septic system. We've added that to the plan. We're going to stake that off. We're going to do a pre-construction meeting with the neighborhood ahead of time, and also plan for this, try to do it off-season so that there's no impact to the neighborhood.
His septic system's in the road, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was one of the other
recall one
reasons
of the
why we
things.
designed our septic system on the lot, knowing that the abutter across the street will most likely have to go into the road for their septic system as well. So we were very courteous of the neighbors and the other future concerns in the area.
Anything else, Kwame?
Yeah, and real quick, the erosion controls, where is that going to be? And-
So, yep, erosion controls are shown right at the top of the bank through here. So it consisted of a staked wattle with a silt fence towed in with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Michael?
Kwame beat me to it already with the erosion controls, and you kind of beat me to it already as well with the erosion controls as well. One other thing too, are there any endangered species in that general area, just like right off to the shoreline or anything like that, or?
Natural heritage falls
Yeah.
on the bank coming down, but all the work is proposed outside the natural heritage and outside of their jurisdiction.
All right, that's all otherwise, thank you.
Paula Jean?
I do want to mention that all the information you gave us about the 30-foot zone, where I think everyone on this commission is well aware. And maybe hearing it again could perhaps make some disinclined to rule in your favor. That's all I want to say.
Well,
Two-edged sword.
it was information.
Yep.
He doesn't know what we do or do not know in our own things, but
Right.
yes,
I just wanted you to know that.
yes, just, it was a little pounding, but that's what you do. You say, this is the bylaw, this is the rule, this is the law, and
Well,
that's all you did is fine.
I'm certainly not trying to, I guess, be abrasive with my submittal. What I'm trying to do is understand. I reviewed all the hearings. It seemed, I didn't hear any real discussion or articulation to go through the exemptions or the exceptions. So if I missed that, I apologize, but I'm happy to talk about it.
Anything else, Paula Jean?
Yeah, what I was going to say is that when it's right on the line with the 30-foot zone, there's also the downside of once we bend the rule, then we're going to have more people perhaps trying to bully or intimidate us into doing it again. And that's a slippery slope.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Scott?
I'd like to express my appreciation to the architect, to the engineer, for being responsive to our concerns about protecting the wetlands. If you look at the early plans, the first draft of plans are quite different from where they are now, and that reflects, I think, responsibility on the part of your the property owner responding to our concerns, and I really appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is the arrogance of the council, but
Thank you.
that's already been expressed.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Jessica?
I like a legal memo. I think that it lays it out clearly and without emotion. And I think that's helpful sometimes. I think that, part of what you're hearing from the commission is that sometimes we see applications where there's been a fire or something like that, and it becomes an opportunity to create something much different than what was there originally. And so I think that, we take our role seriously in protecting the areas that we have said that we will protect. But I don't object at all to the memo. I like it. I think that it's helpful.
Thank you.
Scott?
Is there a coastal dune on the property?
No coastal dune.
Okay. There is a reference to it in the letter, which you may just want to correct,
It may have been me. I may have said dune instead of bank. For that, I
Coastal bank.
apologize.
just for the record.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right. Anybody online or in the audience would like to comment on this project? All right, please let him in. Identify yourself, please.
Hello, this is Jeff Eugenio, attorney at Gellerman Cabral. I've spoken to the commission before. We represent the Wide Brick Trust at 15 Atlantic. I'd just like to express our appreciation that the applicant has taken care of many of our concerns as direct abutters. I'm not sure if it came up tonight. Excuse me if I missed it. But I understand there's a mature tree that I think has been agreed, mature oak tree near the line, property line close to Atlantic that I think is intended to be preserved. I think everyone has a great interest in that. And just our other concern that just want to make sure it gets addressed is the privacy fence on the border. We want to see that it ends or trails off as it approaches street level. But other than that, those are our only comments for tonight.
So where's the Zach, where is the privacy fence and where does it end? It only goes to far as about there?
Yep. This is a request through the abutter and through the ZBA.
Yep.
So it's between the two lot lines through the front
Yep.
here. Are you looking, Mr. Eugenio, are you looking to have it stop at the street line or stop at the front face of the house?
I just trail off as it approaches the street line.
Okay. Yep, we can
Yep.
step that down. Yep.
And it doesn't go to the abutter Walden's property?
Nope. It stops through the back right at their property line at the top of the coastal bank. That's just to provide the privacy to the abutter through their side and us.
I know the property, we recently lost David, and so I've been there constantly on the abutting, so. Okay, now, anybody else online? Your comment was on the fence. It doesn't go all the way to, it goes the whole property line, right?
It's the length, and then we'll taper it down as it gets to the street line, like Mr. Eugenio
What
has.
about to the waters
Nope, it'll stop at the top of the coastal
bank?
bank.
Okay. So the neighbor will still have the vista to the river
Yep, they'll start
at the end of the property? Yep.
the vista right through this gap through there.
Not that, okay. Anybody else online to comment? Now, we all received the document from Josh Faraday regarding the recommendation conditions if we approve this project. Anybody want to modify this, or should we just read, this becomes part of our order of conditions?
Didn't he leave it open? Seems to me he left us to make the conditions, and he didn't stipulate them himself.
Okay, so do you want to take each one of these 10 pieces and say whether or not you want to hold it as written, or you want to modify it or not use it? The applicant shall submit a final mitigation planting plan identifying plant species, quantities, size at installation, spacing, planting limits, and stabilization measures.
Include.
Planting shall consist of native or otherwise commission-approved coastal buffer species suitable for the site condition.
Include.
The 30-foot square foot mitigation area shall be clearly demarcated on the final approval plan and protected from future mowing, clearing, storage, or yard expansion.
Include.
The applicant shall install permanent markers or other commission-approved boundary treatment identifying the mitigation area.
Include.
The mitigation area shall be monitored for at least 2 growing seasons for such longer period as the commission determines appropriate.
I would suggest 3 years, 3 growing seasons.
That's fine.
Okay. The mitigation planting area shall achieve a minimum survival rate established by the commission. Any dead or failing planting shall be replaced in kind or with equivalent commission-approved species.
80%.
I'm sorry.
80%.
So 20 can die and they don't have to replace it.
Correct.
Erosion and sedimentation control shall be installed prior to any work and inspected by the conservation agent before construction begins.
Include.
The limit of work shall be staked in the field and no work, stockpiling, storage, or equipment access shall occur outside the approved limit of work. The existing cesspool shall be properly abandoned in accordance with applicable Board of Health and state requirements. The applicant shall provide an as-built plan or final certification confirming that the work was completed. Well, we don't have to include that because they know they have to go for certification. Is there anything else, of those 9 items, is there anything else you want to add to the order of conditions?
Just a point of clarity on the last one. So do you want us to do an as-built at the end? Because it says, or just a certification from us.
Well, you'll have to do an order, if you want to get your certification of compliance, you need an as-built.
So then I'll, okay.
To me, that's part of what the process is. So we give you an order of conditions. To clear that order of conditions, you need an as-built. So I find number 10 to be redundant.
We can include it, though, just as a reminder if they prefer, right?
Sure.
Okay, because we don't remind everybody else. Okay.
This is special.
Is there anything else anybody on here that would like to comment on this project or add to these order of conditions? You've done a great job, as Scott said, hearing us and responding to it.
Thank you.
Nothing else?
I'd like to-
Anybody else online or in the audience? I'm
Thank you,
seeing
Madam
none.
Chair.
Nope.
Anybody else? Did I hear somebody online?
Anybody else?
I just thank you, Madam Chair, for your comment.
Well, this one was not an easy one. You've been here
No,
since
ma'am.
January 7th. That's a long time. So, Christine, any comments?
No, I don't have any comments. I think that it's been pretty good to have a little bit of a mitigation going on there, though, just to, make sure that that bank is stabilized.
Okay,
Thank you. I think we should make a motion to close the project, please.
I have a motion to close the hearing.
Second?
On second, all in favor? Aye, opposed, abstained. Hearing is closed. I believe we read out the order of conditions. Christine, is there anything else you want to add for standard order conditions plus these 10? Plus these?
No, I think those conditions are pretty good.
So the 10 are coming off of Josh Faherty's email of June 29th, 26, with the addition of 3 growing seasons and 80% survival rate are the only 2 changes that were made.
Yes.
And it's his 6/29 email. All right,
So moved.
I have that
Second.
motion. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You got it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Again,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Have a good
Thank you
floor.
for all your
Needless to
time and
say,
hard work as
thank-
well.
Thank you. Don't start
Have a
any
lovely
work
Fourth.
until you get, but it will be nice to see that structure replaced with something other than a burnt structure. Okay.
Agreed.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nat.
That one took a while. Okay, next on the plate is the 16 Whittles Cove, and that was continued until 8/5. We have 3 Marks Cove Road. Anybody here for that one?
I still haven't heard anything from the applicant, nor do we have a DEP file number.
All right.
Move to continue until August 5th.
I have that motion.
Second.
And a second, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, August 5th. Next, we have Water Pollution Control Facility. Anybody here for that one? No? No one online?
I never heard anything about this one. Nobody's reached out to me about continuing it.
Would you contact Sarah
Scott.
Greenberg at GHD and see what the progress is?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get in touch with Scott too.
All right. So we want July 15th?
Move to July 15th, move to continue to July 15th.
Second.
I have that motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. July 15th. Next thing we have on here is the Point Independence Yacht Club, who wanted to be continued until 7:15. So that's still there. Now we have extension request for Beach Road off Pinehurst, 76 to 783. Anybody here for that extension of the request? Christine?
I had already spoken with Kim about that. They just wanted to have the extension request so that their order of conditions doesn't run out, so that they can start working on the replacement of the jetty and their beach nourishment.
Okay. 1 year?
1 year.
Okay. Someone make a motion to extend it for 1 year?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do you want to comment? Oh, come on up.
Sheila Marinucci, I'm the abutter.
Please have a seat and tell us who you are.
My name is Sheila Marinucci, I'm the abutter to Pinehurst Jetty. Some of you are very aware of the
Yes.
jetty. What is the request for extension for how long?
1 year. So they have a year in order to,
May I read a statement, please?
yes, please.
Thank you for letting me speak. We appreciate that the association
Can I
has now...
ask that you be a bit closer to the microphone?
Yes, thank you. We appreciate the association has now committed to relocating the jetty, a portion of which extends on our property. We recognize the Commission's important role in reviewing that process. We have consistently cooperated in good faith and remain committed to working toward a timely resolution. Over the past several years, as some of you know, we have devoted significant time, effort, and personal expense trying to avoid exactly the situation we face today. Despite these efforts, we continue to bear the uncertainty and potential liability associated with the structure that we did not design, construct, authorize, or maintain, but which remains partially on our property. We recognize additional reviews necessary. However, if the Commission grants another extension, we respectfully ask it be tied to specific milestones, measurable progress, and realistic deadlines. As the process continues, oops, I'm so sorry. I had to have to read it because
Take a breath.
I'll get in trouble.
Take a breath.
Despite the, okay, blah, blah, blah. We recognize, we respectfully ask that it be tied to specific milestones, measurable progress, and realistic deadlines. As the process continues, we ask that the burden of further delay not continue to fall primarily only on the parties who did not create this condition, and that the impact on the affected property owners be given the same careful consideration as the technical and environmental issues still under review. We have informed DEP, Christine, and the association that we will pursue reasonable interim protections directly with the association while this relocation process proceeds. We recognize those, including indemnification agreement. We recognize those matters outside the purview, but we wanted them reflected in the record because they arise directly from the continued presence of the jetty on our property. We are stunned to hear that the request has been for a year. We were under the impression that this would be resolved already by now, but now it's extending into another season, kids playing on the rocks, boats going by, sea-doos speeding by, and now we're asking for a year. We thought maybe by fall this would happen. That was the impression I was given also by the DEP. So we respectfully request that you consider our concerns on this project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christine, is this their first request for an extension?
As far as I know it is. I'm not 100% sure on if there's been an extension in the past. I know that
I
there
don't
was
remember one.
amendment. I know there was an amendment, but
We had an
That-
amended order of conditions
yeah, and that was to include the beach nourishment.
because they moved some beach sand without approval.
Yes.
Okay. So if this is a one-year extension, we can very well say if they don't have it done, they have to file a new order of conditions? A new
Yes.
notice of intent?
Yep.
Comments, please. I'll start with Jessica.
It appears to me that it's totally within the ability of the commission to either approve an extension or not.
Yep. Scott?
It seems, can I ask Christine a question? Christine,
Yes.
in the order of conditions, are there seasonal limits on when they can do this work?
There are time of year restrictions. I believe they are the same time of year restrictions that DMF uses during the spawning season.
So what is the time frame? Is this a winter thing that they have to do? What is the time frame for when they can do the work?
This is more of a winter thing. It would definitely be colder weather when they would be able to do it.
Okay, otherwise it would endanger some of the marine activity,
Spawning and citrus.
spawning and so
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So really, they can't start until the cold weather comes back. Is that right?
There is a time limit that they can do the work. I just can't remember what it is.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
And the other question I would have, and I think I know the answer, is if we deny this request for extension and they don't complete the work, they have to stop the work. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, so they would have to stop it and then they would have to refile a notice of intent after their permit expires.
So
Which
it's-
I believe it expires like maybe a year from now and they're just getting in early.
Well, let's,
It would be helpful to know when it does expire.
do you
Now,
have?
can we table this until next meeting and we're asking what is the term date, the expiration date on their existed amended order of conditions?
And also whether it's been extended or renewed ever.
Yeah. Christine, possible for the next meeting?
Yeah, that's possible. I just can't get into the files in front of
Yep.
me right now.
Yep.
But it seems to me it would be in the abutter's interest if there's not time possible to complete the work during the season that they're allowed to do it, for them to continue going forward. Is that right? If they have to stop doing the work because they run out of winter or whatever.
Yes.
When does it expire?
So
That's the-
we're
we're
asking, when does the current amended order of conditions expire? We're asking for that. And we're asking if there's been an extension approved prior to this on 76-783. Yes.
When the jetty was built without a Chapter 91 license, it's still in license, they've had several extensions to get that organized. There was no consideration to winter shellfish, et cetera. So I'm confused as to now why the relocation, which is just like building the jetty, would have these restrictions.
I think we have to check the paperwork, because it's hard to believe they would get something from the state that didn't have some restrictions to work being done in the water.
They didn't get any restrictions from the state because they didn't do the application for the Chapter 91.
Well, this is nothing to do with Chapter 91.
Well, they came here, and you gave them permission to build the jetty.
We need to look at our files to
Okay.
see what type of documents we had, because it's hard to believe there would be work done in the water that didn't have the state putting some type of restrictions regarding spawning, et cetera,
well,
fishes and,
Right, the state was not informed, that's why,
well,
that's
it
what
had
the
nothing to do
source
with
is.
Chapter 91, but
Okay.
well, let us,
Okay.
The point is
But
moot
what I'm saying
anyway.
is it was built,
Okay.
it was built in the fall.
The point is moot anyway.
Okay.
Because we are requiring, the state is requiring that a seasonal sensitivity be, that the work be done when it does not harm marine life.
Understood,
So
so
whether
that's a new
the original
requirement.
work, whether the original work was done that way or not is immaterial.
okay. So we will take this up at the next meeting. Christine's got a little homework for us. Thank you.
I do want to note that while they didn't file for the Chapter 91, the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection always receives a copy of applications like this, and the body that does the reviews for in-water is the Department of Marine Fisheries. So that's why, that's where the state's knowledge would come in. Just Chapter 91 doesn't have knowledge of it. And from what I can see, it looks like the original permit was issued on July 10th of 2024.
And it's good for 3 years.
Yeah, so it would expire in July of 27.
All right, then I guess the question is, why are they looking for extension when they are expiring in 27? Yes,
Are we able to impose conditions on an extension?
I would like to think so. If we can say that you have an extension, but you must complete the work.
I was actually thinking a little bit differently, and it may be that
To the
I
mic.
don't understand. I'm sorry. Is my understanding that the abutters are primarily concerned about liability? Yes. And is there any restriction on our ability to impose some form of indemnification or coinsurance during a period of extension?
I'd have to ask the attorney. Because good question, never heard it before. Christine, you got it on your plate, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, there's clearly nothing in the bylaws
No,
that addresses that.
no. All right? So, nothing, it's continued until we get some answers from Christine doing some research on it, all right?
We didn't vote on that, but
We're not going to vote on it because we're passing over it.
need to rescind.
Nope. All right, folks, it's 10 minutes to kick off. Certification of compliance request, 10 Sunset Avenue, SC 762425. I understand they didn't do the work. Christine?
Yeah, so I can recommend the issuance of one with the order being lapsed and no work ever being completed.
So will you approve it?
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Make a motion to approve.
I have,
C 762425.
yep, that's the motion to approve it.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstain. Okay, next thing we have is 21 Pleasant Street. Anything happening there?
I just went out there today, and the Phragmites is now as tall or taller than me.
So we should have them come in so they know they have to find a way of marking off the 30-foot no-touch zone.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the homeowner about it and let her know. I think she may be in Florida.
Okay. All right, next thing we have. All right, folks, it's year end. We're beginning into the new FY27, and we always take a look at our chair, clerk, and vice chair and ask if they'd like to continue for another year. Kwame,
Yes, ma'am.
Michael,
Yes.
I would like, is there anybody who would like to have those positions?
Heavens, no.
Then may I have a motion to accept all three positions for FY27? I have that motion. Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstain, we're in it. Christine, is there anything we want to talk about the nitrogen bylaw Is there anything else, Christine, before we move into that component?
I thought that the bylaw seemed good. I thought it seemed pretty up to date. I just, my only concern is that it's going to be difficult to enforce. But that's a different story. That's like a different thing.
Right, that's the same thing with plastic bags in the supermarkets and
Yeah.
everything else.
Because I still see plastic bags in the supermarkets.
I did talk to one of our captive landscapers in our community, and she does most of her work down on the Cape, and said that that's all they can buy on the Cape is the slow release nitrogen stuff. And she said mostly what they're concerned with is liming, which is actually addressed in the nitrogen fertilizer bylaw as that liming is exempt because there's no nitrogen in the lime anyway. I'll probably talk to some more landscapers to get their feedback on the bylaw, but we are going to need some public conversations about the impacts.
Because Michael sent us an email as to what the business is where he works, what they have for fertilizer, and I can't believe how, what should I say, strong some of them are, 20-some-odd% nitrogen.
Like 28%, but I do think that that's very useful to have.
Because I would like to, in the bylaw, talk about the strength of the nitrogen that we allow to be sold in the town of Wareham and applied in the town of Wareham. So we ask the landscapers or anybody else to report on what they do. Maybe we change our order of conditions to require the homeowner to report annually what has been done on their yard for fertilizer. We say low releasing nitrogen. Maybe we add in the order conditions a reporting of such. I know enforcement is a hard point, but something to think about. I want reports.
How many homeowners and business owners use nitrogen fertilizer in the town of Wareham?
Probably anybody who has a lawn.
Thousands.
Yes. But if we add an order of conditions, how many, we issued one order of conditions to date, right?
Yeah.
So that's one report.
Okay, but we're not going to issue orders of conditions for every lawn owner in this town of Wareham. Am I missing something?
No, we can only do it for those that affect our wetland bylaws. We can't do it for the person who lives so far inland, they're nowhere close to the water, but we can talk about having the landscaper have a responsibility of using what he's allowed to use in this town.
Yeah, let's be clear. So the bylaw doesn't just cover the jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act.
That's my understanding. It's for the whole town of Wareham.
This is the whole town of Wareham.
Yeah, so to me, it's not limited to the wetland bylaws. It's got to be limited to the planning board or the total bylaws for the town.
Exactly.
It isn't just under our section, it's everybody in town.
Right, so a new division, rather than Division 6, which is...
Yeah, someplace under the general bylaw for, I don't know, planning, building, I don't care, someplace. It isn't limited to what we have as oversight on.
Right.
It's any lawn in town.
Right.
Any landscaper applying it in town, not just wetlands.
Yeah, and the reason is, just for public
Sorry,
consumption...
I didn't get my back to you.
The reason is because the town of Wareham sits on lots of different kinds of soil types, but mostly it's sandy. And so these nitrogen and other fertilizers leach very quickly through these sandy soils into the water table. And the water table then connects with water supplies, but also with the marshes and the rivers and so on. So it's not just the 200 feet from the or 200 feet from the rivers and 100 feet from the marshes and ocean. It's the whole town.
Yes, it's clear. We're driving it for the whole town,
Yes.
not just conservation oversight.
That's right. And just
It's all connected.
just one little more bit of information for background, and that is that the entire town has committed to reducing its nitrogen load in the wetlands, broadly speaking. And this is one of the measures that the town has committed to through the comprehensive wastewater management plan, which is a 20-year plan for handling wastewater in the town. So while the Conservation Commission can drive this idea of the nitrogen fertilizer bylaw, it really is about planning, it's about the sewer commission, it's about zoning, it's about everything. So, but I felt like if we didn't draft something and start it moving, it wasn't going to get done. So that's why we're working on it first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any comments on this? It will continue to be a work in progress. I would like, enforcement to me is the headache. How do you ever? But if we don't put it on the books, we have nothing to enforce.
Now, the other option would be to put the bylaw as it is and refer to the rules and regulations. And then the rules and regulations can talk about reporting requirements and yada yada, but at least the basics of
But
it.
whose rules and regulations? Conservation.
Conservations.
But if the land is outside of conservation,
Okay,
It should
you
be
got
just
me.
like anything else in town that's outlawed. You can't like just throw a bag of trash out your car window. Enforcement's a problem. Unless someone sees it, it's not gonna, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have it as a law
we've got to
and make an
try.
attempt.
We
Right.
have to try. So, anything else tonight?
Yes, just get me, look at the bylaw again. Scott, thank you for your comments and others. Is anything else you have, just get it to me and I'll find out where it goes next.
So we have a new version to look at. A couple days ago?
Last week.
Last week.
Was it last week?
Last week, yeah.
Ooh. It got sort of,
So I think we're close, though, honestly. And I think there's going to be other changes as maybe as the director of planning has a look at it, another look at it, this latest version, maybe as the engineers who work for the town on the nitrogen pollution issues through the sewer commission, as they have a look at it, they may have suggestions. I think the public may have suggestions about this, especially the landscape industry. So I expect this to evolve over time, but I would like to move it along so that it's ready for the next town meeting.
okay? We're missing minutes, but okay, I'm sorry, Scott.
I'm sorry. I think even raising it contributes to the solution and the understanding, because certainly a large part of it is educational.
It raises
And even
awareness.
if they're incremental steps, and we understand from looking at other communities that it's a bit-by-bit process, that's a positive thing.
Plus, the state's going to require it anyway.
Oh, that.
Or that.
Christine, anything else?
I don't think so, although I don't know right now if your email is in the Concom distribution now, Scott Parr.
I don't believe so.
So if it's not, let me know so that I can send you the Google Doc for the bylaw.
Thank you. I do that. I don't know where to look. But yes, I will send it to you.
Yes. There was a note about some land being cleared at Lookout Lane.
Which I gotta stay out of this conversation.
I have some information that it was done by the owner's children, who was told by a real estate agent that they can get more money for the property if there's a view of the water. It was not being done by the current owner of the property. It was done before he purchased it. It was the intent by the real estate agent to get as much for the property as possible. So there, I think the children are from Lafayette or something like
They're
that,
from
so.
Lafayette. Elvis, it's the prior owner's son and grandson.
So it was the idea is, hey, I can get more money if you were to clear the slope, and that's what they did. So don't blame the current homeowner.
But does it matter when?
No, I mean.
We just went through that, right?
The homeowner is responsible for the restoration,
But they
but
did
we
it.
can't blame the homeowner for the work been done, because what we can say to the real estate agent is, nice job, folks. I'd love to find out who the realtor was that told them they could clear the banking in order to get more money.
I think I know who the realtor was.
Well, that's
They
something.
never listed it. It was never listed.
So it's a private, yeah. Well, anyway,
Doesn't it come down to the date that the work was done versus the date that the closing?
I don't know when the work was done. I'm getting information from the neighbors that they were told to clear the banking to get more money. Sorry, you were talking.
Sorry.
Well, somebody's responsible for it.
Regardless, the current homeowner will be responsible for the replanting. We can't fine him because we don't know if it was done before he took possession of the property, and that's my understanding. It was done before he bought the land.
Why would it matter?
It doesn't
I
usually,
can't
right?
fine him for work that was not done when he owned the land, but we can ask him to pay for the restoration.
I thought we did that in a few cases. I mean, it was only a few $100s, but people said, oh, it was done before I bought it, and
Well-
they paid the fine, and then we had them do the restoration.
Oh, that was one house
A few
down,
times.
down a little
We
harbor.
have been doing that.
We have been. Well, anyway, something to consider. I'm sure it will be coming to us with an enforcement order.
There-
And the house next to them topped their trees, so there will be enforcement order. The trees were topped for a vista for the house next to it,
Looking at the water to the right?
to the right. Because if I look down the banking, I can see the tops of the trees that show that they've only been done for probably a couple months.
Yeah.
Because they were just, the pine needles were just beginning to dry up. I have to have my vista. I'm gonna cut my trees. I'm gonna clear the land. I want my vista. Now, if you go down to Onset on the bluffs, you see these two big trees that are dead, stone dead, because someone wanted that vista across the street. But they're not been cut yet, because I said, I want them to stand there and let people say, if I'm going to kill trees, this is what it looks like. Because those were two big, mature trees. They just don't die on their own without some assistance, like salt. Okay, folks. Anything else? Christine, anything?
I'm back in.
I will put out the paperwork to be signed, and I'll leave them in the box for maintenance to take over for you. Anything else?
I don't think so. I don't think I have anything new to report on to you guys.
Okay? Folks, come on.
Make a,
Just a moment. Wetlands Protection Act. We'll need to look into this. Maybe one of our attorneys will, whoever violates any provision of this section, this is, shall be punished by a fine of not more than $25,000 or by imprisonment for not more than 2 years. I think this relates to transfer of property when there's an issue, but you'll have to take a look at that and see.
Email it to me.
Okay. Move to adjourn
I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
at 8:03.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Thank you.